But we're going to be looking at this story. We call it the story of Jesus walking on the water, and that's true. But can I tell you, there's a thing about Jesus walking on the water that I think we miss. Is that he's Jesus. Jesus does Jesus kind of things, doesn't he? I mean, he heals people. He calms storms. He breaks the fish and the loaves and feeds 5,000 people. And I mean, it's neat, and we read these stories and we go, man, that is amazing. But we expect Jesus kind of things from Jesus, don't we? I mean, that's kind of the way we tell the story. And it's true. The remarkable part of this story isn't that Jesus walked on the water. The remarkable part of this story is that Peter walked on the water. Now, before we get to the text, I want to begin with the end of this. Because the end of this, if you recall, is Peter walking on the water, and he's coming to Jesus, and he sees the winds and the waves, and he gets his eyes off Jesus, and he begins to sink. Now, we preachers get up, and we just go after Peter for getting his eyes off Jesus and losing a little bit of faith. And we miss the big E on the eye chart, that Peter was walking on the water. The point of the story is not even that Peter was sinking. The point of the story is that Peter was walking on the water. And yet, did he lose faith? Okay, I guess that's part of the story. But even Jesus' response to Peter in the middle of it, he looks at Peter and he picks him up and he says, "Oh, Peter, you of little faith." And he wasn't angry. He wasn't chastising him. He was just saying, "Peter, you were doing it. You just lost sight for a minute. You were doing it." The point of this story is not Jesus walking on the water. The point of the story is not the storm. The point of the story is not Peter sinking. The point of the story is that Peter was walking on the water. And we've got to get that in our minds if we're going to understand this passage. And so in order to do this, we're going to, act this out a little bit. So I'm going to need volunteers. Okay. Now, I've asked Abby to do one thing for me. So, Abby, you can come up. I'm going to give you a microphone. This is scary. Oh, where is it? Oh, Sarge has it. There you go. Okay. So, come on up. You can use my Bible. There you go. You can use that. Okay. Now, I need some boat riders. Probably two, looking at the size of our boat. Now, Kimmy, sorry, because this person has to be both light enough and short enough for me to lift. That's it. Oh, are you just coming up? Okay, I guess Zach, see. There you go. Okay. You're going to get in the boat? I need someone else to get in the boat with Zach. Oh. And not Tim. Grayson. Okay. Oh, man. Dude. Okay, you're going to be in the front. Ready? Oh, my goodness, dude. I said I need someone small enough for me to lift. Oh! There you go. Okay. You in? You good? Now, this is highly unstable. So, there you go. You hold that. There you go. Hold. We're going sailing. Come sail away. Come sail. Shout out to the sticks. Come sail away with me. Okay. There you go. Oh my, Grayson, how are you going to do this? Okay, there you go. How about, okay, the wind, we're gonna drop the sail for a minute. Okay, so here you are. Now, they represent the 12 disciples. So, Abby, start reading the story to us.
Immediately he made the disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowds. And after he had dismissed the crowds, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone. But the boat by this time was long away from the land, beaten by the waves, for the wind was against them.
Okay, let's stop right there. So the boat was far away from land. Hang on. Whoa! Hang on. There you go. Okay, boat was far away from land, and it was beaten by the waves because the wind was against them. So we need a storm. Okay, we need a storm. Who can be a storm? Okay, you girls on the front row, yeah, come on up. I need storm. It's a big storm. Who wants to be a storm? Come on. Who else? Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. There you go. Okay. So, here. Two hands. Come on. There you go. There you go. Okay. 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 There you go. Now, come. Okay. And stand out here in front of them. Okay. And remember the rule, nothing below the neck. Okay? That's the rule. Nothing below. Okay, they were beaten by the wind and the waves. Come on. Oh, okay, you got to do better than that. Get them. Get them. Get them. Okay. There you go. There we go. Come on. Keep beating them. Okay, well, let's stop for a minute. Stop for a minute. Okay. Now, look inside the boat. You see in there? A lot of it's in there, right? Okay, now stand back for a second. We're going to do something a little bit different. Come over here. Now, you guys stay in the boat. You're still rowing, okay? You guys stand over here so they can see your faces. Okay, don't move. Just stay right there. Now, in the time of Jesus, the water, of course, they were on a lake and they were doing that thing, but the water represented something as well. For them, water represented like chaos and undoing and death. So they're in the middle of this great big lake, and it's deep and it's dark, and for them it represents chaos. And so here comes this storm, and this storm is kind of like life. Do you ever have chaos blow into your life? Okay, so here's what we want to do. I'm going to give you some more paper here. Hold on. Now, storms, right? Storms of life. Okay, what kind of things blow into our life like a storm? What do you think, Kimmy? What? Illness. There you go. It comes like a storm. Okay, what else? What? Enemies. Here you go. Wad that thing up. There you go. Enemies. Enemas. Enemies. There you go. Storms of life. Storms of life. What's that? Unfaithfulness. Ooh, good one. Okay. You guys chilling in the boat? There you go. Okay. What else? What else? What? Bitterness. Ooh. Evilness. That should be 2 S's there. Here you go. Evil. Ooh, idols. Yeah.
Bad guys.
Bad guys. Very meanies. Oh, you guys need some. Idols. There you go. You want idols? Okay. How about a job? Sometimes a job. Work. Money. Kids. Whoa. From the mouth of babes. Ow. Hit my head. Man. I wish I had hair. Man, would have given me some cushion. Okay, so life comes at us with all of these things, right? Okay, so wad them up. So here comes life, right? Wad them up. What's that? You need more life? Well, there's some life there. Okay, there you go. Throw them. You can throw life at me. There you go. Okay. Okay. Okay, now, let's stop. Yeah, actually, good idea. Let's just, there we go. Okay, so, okay, now stop for a second. Ready? Okay, so look inside the boat. Now, they're on the water, right? They're on the water, but when the storm comes, what happens to the water on the lake?
It freezes.
Well, it gets in the boat. Gets in the boat. Okay, so if water's getting in the boat, I mean, the disciples were kind of freaking out, weren't they? Because it was a storm.
Yeah.
Okay, so if water gets in a boat, what do?
You bucket it out.
Okay?
You sweep it out the room.
Okay, so start, you boys, I'll hold your oars. You guys start getting the water out. This is life. You're trying to bail life out. Okay, get it out. But the storm is still blowing. Guys, the storm is still blowing. Now, wait a second. You guys, you're the storm. It's still blowing. Come on. Come on. There you go. There you go. Oh, man. Come on, get it out. Storm's still blowing. I could do this all day. I think they could too. There you go. It's a cold bucket challenge. There we go. Okay, pause. Stop. Pause. Ready? Pause. Okay, who's winning? The storm or the boat? Definitely the storm. The storm always wins, right? Storm always wins. And okay, stop for a second. Stand up. Okay, so another option, if life comes in and it's not working to get all those bad things out, what's another option? Maybe you need to move out of the storm. Well, let's move out. Let's try moving out of the storm first. How do you do that, Zach? Okay. Now, we're going to move out of the storm. Ready? Uh-oh. There we go. Whoa. There we go. Trying to move out of the storm. Row. That's my head again. Oh. So, okay. Okay. But where's the storm at?
Over here.
Okay, you guys over there still?
Yeah, we can
Okay, storm's still blowing. Come on. Come on.
Let's get this
Let's blow over there. There you go. Okay, here they are. You're trying to get me. There we go. You see how this works? You can, okay, pause for a second. You can try to bail out the problems in your life, but does that work? No. You can try to move out from the problems of your life, but does that work? Okay. Now for a second, you guys stand over here. Now I need Jesus. Now, for those of you listening, I have Jesus in my heart. When I say I need Jesus, I don't mean I need Jesus. I mean, I need a Jesus. Oh, someone that's not up here. You guys stand over here. What? Oh, Tim. No, not Tim. You gotta have the mohawk, dude. Well, how do you know? How do you know? He said Jesus doesn't have a mohawk like he knows. Okay, come on up. Okay. Okay, so now, right, here you guys are. Walk all the way around, Tim. Now, here comes Jesus in the middle of the storm. Now, tell me, if you saw someone walking on the water in the middle of a storm, what would you think?
What?
It depends on the haircut. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
You might even think, even though we don't believe in ghosts, but it's more reasonable than someone walking on the water. Okay, so Abby, keep reading.
I lost my spot. Okay. And in the first watch of the night he came to them, walking on the sea. But when the disciples saw him walking
stop.
on the sea, they were terrified.
Okay, you guys, start being terrified. Okay. Woo. I'm terrified. Okay, Abby.
And
Okay.
said, "It is a ghost!" And they cried out in fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Take heart, it is I. Do not be
Wait,
afraid."
Pause. You gotta do hands. Like, take heart. Yeah, there you go. Okay, keep going.
And Peter answered him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water."
Okay, pause. Pause. Here we go. So here it is. Lord, if it is you, what did he say? Peter yelled out, what was the prayer? Lord. Okay. Who's Peter? Grayson, are you Peter?
Yeah.
Okay. So turn to Jesus. Jesus looks like Tim right now. Okay.
Without the haircut.
And say, Lord, if it's you, command me to come to you.
Lord, if it's you,
Command me.
to come to you.
But he said, command me to come to you on the water. That's kind of a big deal. That's kind of a big deal because anyone can go anywhere where there's dry land, right? The point of coming to Jesus is that there is an impossible walk that seems like it makes no sense. It's what faith is. Okay, so Jesus gave him one answer. What was the answer? Do you remember? One word? Come. That was it. That was Jesus' whole answer. Okay, so ready? You're going to have to give me a little jump with this one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh! Okay. Okay, so there you are. Walk slow. There you go. Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. Now, here's, blow some storm. Okay, stop right there, Grayson. And remember, nothing below the neck. So, okay. Okay, one more shot, and then we're going to pause. Okay, there we go. Now pause. How much of that stuck to Grayson?
Nothing.
Nothing. Isn't that neat? Okay, we tried bailing it out of the boat. We tried getting life out of the boat. We tried all of these bad things that come into our life. We tried getting rid of them. Did that work? No. Nope. Okay, we tried moving. We tried rowing to a different location. But we were still in the same boat. Still the mess followed us. So that didn't work. But then all of a sudden, here's Peter out on the water. Was he out of the storm? No. But did it stick with him the way it did in the boat? Okay, so here's the point. There's a walk we're to take. I'm gonna have you guys go sit down. They did a great job, didn't they?
Me too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ready? Jump. Okay. Okay, I wanted you to see this because this is hugely important. We spend a lot of our time moving our boats around, trying to avoid our problems. We spend a lot of time trying to clean up our lives, trying to get it out, and the storm keeps raging, and we just keep collecting it. And Jesus comes in the middle of the storm. And we cry out in panic, Lord, if it's you, command me to come to you on the water. It's in the middle of the storm. And Jesus' word is, come, come. Now there's this walk. It says that Peter got out of the boat and came to where Jesus was. Sometimes we've seen the artist and their rendering has Jesus standing like right here and Peter right here. And so Peter, there's safety here. Peter's got a hand on the boat and a hand out to Jesus. And that's just not how it worked. It said that Peter came to Jesus on the water, and when he saw the waves and the wind, he began to sink. But he had been on the water. Jesus was kind of way out here. And Peter walked to him on the water. But there was that in between. There's that moment, and I know this is a bit of a paraphrase, but that moment when Peter says, Lord, if it's you, command me to come to you on the water. There's that moment, really, Peter was saying, Lord, this had better be you. Right? Because I'm going to look really stupid in a minute. I'm going to jump out and I'm going to start taking this walk, but there's this point where Peter was on the water, but away from the boat, but not quite to Jesus. This in between. Remember, the water meant abyss. It was chaos. It was undoing. It was death. There is this point, and I'm terming this a happy death. There is this point when you can't go back and you're not quite there and your walk is in faith. There's this point, and it's this happy death because all of the things that you've been carrying with you in life have to die. And eventually, if you stay in the boat for much longer, it will sink you. It will. If you move to a different location, it will sink you. At some point, there is one answer that is left, and you're like, but it's a crazy answer. But so is rowing to a different location in the middle of a storm. Isn't it amazing how much time we spend doing that? We spend a lot of energy in our boats just moving locations, and then we're going to say, but it's crazy to get out of the boat. Well, the boat's sinking. It may be crazy. It makes no sense to walk on the water, but that's the point of it, is, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. And there is this point when we have no recourse. We're standing over the deep, and it's a happy death. The old is gone, the new has come. This is the life that we live as a Christian. It is a walk, and it's a walk on the waves. It's a walk. It doesn't remove us from the storm. It doesn't remove us from the conflict. It doesn't remove us from the turmoil. The storm still blows, but it just doesn't stick the way it used to. Isn't that great? Man, I wish we would get this as a church, because we spend so much time like the other 11 disciples, never really getting out of the boat. And were they Christ followers? They were. They were. Can you be a Christ follower and be safely in your boat? You can. But there's a misnomer in there. The boat is not safe. It's sinking. The safest place to be, believe it or not, is walking on the waves. It's also the most difficult place to be because it requires so much faith. Jesus talked about this. He said, if you had a faith of a mustard seed, you could say to this mountain, move, and it would be moved. And we always go, see, you just need a little bit of faith. Did you know the point of a seed is not to stay little? We forget this. We don't need to come up with a little bit of faith. He said a mustard seed. It's a seed. And you plant a seed. You know what the planting is? It's a kind of death. But that kind of death where the old is gone gives way to the new. And he says, and that mustard seed becomes a mustard tree. I don't know if you know this, but there is no such thing as a mustard tree. It's a bush. But here's part of the point, is this little seed, this little bit of faith that gives way to more life because of death becomes more than it was ever designed to be. A mustard bush becomes a mustard tree. And in a sense, a fisherman becomes a water walker. And the same thing with you. The old is gone, the new has come, but it's a death. It's a happy death.